Hi everyone, welcome back to JLL Live. I'm Pushpa, your host for the day, and we're here at the Disrupt CRE conference in San Francisco. And you just watched a video, and I'm sure you're thinking, how many wardrobe changes am I going through? I think that was my second or third of the day, but those were all pre-recorded. So, but we were talking on that video a lot about property marketing tools and how that's changing the way that we're able to look at space from anywhere and everywhere. And today I have Gene Holsclaw with me, who's a senior vice president in our occupancy planning group.
It's a mouthful.
Oh man, OP. Let's go with that, right?
Yep.
So for occupancy planning, and the way that this is very similar in terms of how is technology changing the way that we design our own space and look at it. And also, you know, there's a lot around recruiting and skill sets that change as a result of technology. So help me understand just the increase in general of occupancy planning technology and what's going on there.
So it's kind of exploded. I came to JLL about 2 years ago, and at that time, you know, practice was really growing, but in this last year, it's really just skyrocketed. The reality is our clients are understanding they need us. They've changed the way they work. So they got people scattered all over the place, right? The days of having names and seats and people assigned to certain areas, it's no longer there. People are doing free addressing, they're doing mobility, and it's just drop-in space. It's neighborhoods. So are people actually coming in? Do people actually like the space they designed, right?
Right.
And this is when you know, these companies are trying to get their best and brightest out there. So they need to be able to understand, hey, is this working, right? And then meanwhile, are my people working? Right?
Yeah,
so this is where things have really changed.
There's only so much a survey can get you, right?
That's right. You can walk space and you can do that and get that information, but the technology piece is really helping us now to get our arms around how space is actually being utilized. So it's exciting.
And what kinds of technology is doing that?
So there are a couple of things we're using, right? One of the first things we're doing now is sensor technology, where it's basically if heat, vibration, it doesn't tell you who was there, it tells you somebody was there, right? Because some people get a little bit, you know, a little nervous about that privacy thing, but it really doesn't give
I go back and forth on it for myself. Right now, Amazon Alexa's like shut off and unplugged, but sometimes it's right there.
It's a little unnerving when they know more than you think they should, right? But what this is, right? So you got conference rooms or you got these collaboration spaces and things that they build out, right? They go, wow, this is going to be great. People are going to use it. Are they actually using it, right?
Right.
But the sensor technology
They said they wanted it so much.
Right, and it costs a fortune to build, right?
Yeah.
So they put them in there, and what it does, right, it'll give us back the data, right? So we can get heat maps and actually seeing when that space is being used. Is there a higher volume of when it's being used and not? A lot of times Mondays and Fridays, not so much, but midweek, right?
Yeah.
So this way, when they're looking at designing the next space or the next thing they need to do, they have some actual data as opposed to just anecdotal information from businesses, right? Saying, oh yeah, we got to have more of this space. They can actually go back and look at it and go, yeah, it's actually working. Right?
So now they have all this information, right? Aside from knowing if it worked, which is more of a look back, how are they using that to look forward and change what they do for the future?
Well, again, this is now they're understanding that this space actually does work and it does attract people to come and want to spend time in that space, right? So now when they're going out to do their new designs, right, they can actually work with our workplace strategy team, right, and say, okay, this works really well. This does not work so well, right? And so they're putting their money based on data and information as opposed to just guessing, right? The other thing that's really good in technology that's been really helpful for our clients is 3D test fits.
Yeah.
3D rendering is what they are, right? For a lot of people that are spatially challenged, right, to look at a floor plan and try to figure out what that space is going to actually look like when it's done, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I do that for a living, and it's still hard for me.
Right.
You know?
If you're doing it once, God knows how many years.
That's right. We now are be able to do them in 3D, right? So you can actually like swoop into your space. We can add finishes and different things, right? So now people that generally don't even deal with this kind of stuff can actually get a sense and feel, right? And
without spending money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And our clients, what they love about it, because they're trying to convince their business units this is the way to go. But now when they can actually put this together and show it to them, they get a real feel for it. Like one of my clients told me, it makes it an easy sell. You know? So it's exciting.
And I know we're coming up short on time here, but you were talking about growth a little while ago, and we were 250 people in your group when you started 2
Yep.
years ago, and now it's up to 400
450.
or so? 450.
450 and growing.
And,
Yep.
and just as we wrap up, what has changed in how we're hiring or in what occupancy planners do? Are the characteristics the same? Or even in just these 2 years, have it?
Yeah. This is the part that I'm very passionate about because part of my role is also career development. So what's happening around with the technology that's coming in, right? It's doing a lot of the work that our planners used to do. And sometimes the planners get nervous going, oh, you're replacing me with a robot or a machine. No, we're taking away the mundane roles, the things that you really didn't like doing,
Yeah.
like polylines on a CAD or, again, walking space as opposed to using sensors. So now that our people can actually do more strategic work, the exciting part of planning. I always say planners are right and left brained because they love everything to be organized in the way it should be, but they're also like to think outside the box
Right.
and look at new ideas and what if scenarios. So it's going to help them to get there.
So it's actually a really attractive area to go into for people who like all around
Absolutely.
looking at things.
Right.
Well, thank you, Gene. I appreciate your insights. And,
Thank you.
And it's always fun listening to this kind of stuff because we all are in different kinds of office spaces, one way or another. I've been working virtually for about 11 years now, but I go into a lot of our offices around the world, and I love seeing how different spaces
Yeah.
are being set up and used. So thank you for that.